All right, so this next portion is going to be going over the SimpleNexus workflow. What this is going to do is give you guys a visual as to which pieces of the loan origination process you're going to be doing in SimpleNexus and which ones are going to be able to be done inside of Encompass. Let me pull that document up now. Okay, so just so you guys know where to find this document that I'm going to be going over, this is found in the origination guidebook for new originators at APM, which is on the hub. And then there's also a separate document for this as well, and we'll probably include a link for that document. But just wanted to make sure you guys know where to access this later if you'd like to go back over it again. So starting at the top here, we're going to go throughout the loan process and see which portions we can do inside of SimpleNexus and which ones are going to need to be done in Encompass. So first of all, starting the loan, we're here at number 1. The borrower can either complete the application inside of SimpleNexus on the application link via mobile or web. So they can complete the application themselves. And just so you guys know, we do have a Spanish-speaking version of the application, but that is only available on the web version right now. They are hoping to get that on the mobile version as well. But if you have Spanish-speaking customers and they would be more comfortable doing the application in Spanish, you can definitely direct them to complete their application using your web link. The other option is that the loan officer can take the application in SimpleNexus by going to the loans section and then actions and then start new application. Next is going to be the e-consent. There's a couple different ways that takes place. One of them is if the borrower takes the application themselves and fills it out either on the web or on the mobile app, there's a portion of it that automatically asks them about e-consent, credit authorization, and borrower certification authorization. So they would complete it themselves. Or if the loan officer is taking the application themselves through SimpleNexus, at the end, it actually asks them if they want to go ahead and send out an e-consent and borrower authorization at the very end before submitting the loan into Encompass. When that happens, the customer will get sent a link requesting them to create a SimpleNexus account and sign their e-consent. They'll also be getting their initial task list when that happens. But if the application was started in Encompass, maybe that loan officer needed to copy over a file from an old one, or maybe there was one that didn't work out before, or maybe the loan officer just took the application in Encompass. They can also send that e-consent through Encompass, and what you'll do is go to the e folder and then choose the e-consent and then just choose to send it through SimpleNexus when you are actually sending that out. So that could be done also inside of Encompass. Now, credit pull. The loan officer actually has the ability to pull credit in the SimpleNexus app or at the SimpleNexus web portal, so at simplenexus.com. The team member can only do this at simplenexus.com. So anybody that's a loan officer assistant or processor, they can actually pull credit at simplenexus.com. Honestly, though, I still feel that best practice, unless you really need to get that credit report right away and you're out and about, I still feel like the best way really to pull that credit report is through Encompass. It's because right now this doesn't automatically pull into Encompass. When you pull it in SimpleNexus, you have to import it separately. So right now, best practice is to pull it in Encompass, but if you do need to get that information and you're on the go, you certainly can pull that inside of SimpleNexus. Then once you've got that pulled and done, you can actually go back into Encompass because the application is submitted and you can start modifying and reviewing that application, getting it ready for being able to run AUS. So putting in your housing costs, matching up your liabilities, maybe putting in an amount for rent, putting in your MI quote. There's a bunch of things to kind of get it ready for running AUS. And then of course, running it through Candor after you've run AUS. So all of that is done inside of Encompass. Now, pre-qualification and pre-approval letters, the loan officer can send this through the SimpleNexus app, or the loan officer or team member can send it through simplenexus.com. The verification of accounts through account check can actually be ordered in place of bank statements. Basically, it's a digital way for your customers to be able to give you access to those bank statements. So the loan officer can actually send a link right through the SimpleNexus app, and the loan officer or team member can also send that link through simplenexus.com. And we're going to go into more detail on how to do that later. We're just going over basically the workflow on, okay, what can you do inside of SimpleNexus and what can you do inside of Encompass? Which of course you can also order this from inside of Encompass as well, but it's important to point out what you can accomplish in SimpleNexus. Okay, so new locks. Loan officers can actually lock loans from their SimpleNexus app or inside of Encompass. Right now, there's not locking available on the SimpleNexus web portal just yet, but that is something that they're in the process of beta testing right now. And then any modifications to locks can only be done inside of Encompass. So extensions, or maybe if you need to make a profile change, all of that needs to be done inside of Encompass. It's just that initial lock that can be done inside of the SimpleNexus mobile app. All right, so the tasks and the borrower needs list. So the borrowers are given an initial task list when they complete the application or when you complete it for them. And it's all based on a task template that can actually be modified at the branch level by the branch manager or the administrator. The tasks after that initial set can be modified or deleted by the loan officer or the team member at simplenexus.com or in the SimpleNexus app, or technically you can also remove them inside of Encompass in the SimpleNexus screen. Documents are uploaded then by the borrower through their web portal for SimpleNexus and can be viewed by the loan officer or team member at either simplenexus.com or on the SimpleNexus app by the loan officer. The team member and loan officer assistant and processor, they don't have access to a mobile version. All they have is the simplenexus.com web portal. Okay, and the also the unassigned folder is where those documents end up going when they go into Encompass. All right, so next, the cool thing about SimpleNexus is you can actually send out documents that need signatures right through there without any additional cost. So normally DocuSign charges about $275 per electronic envelope, but if you're sending these out to be signed through SimpleNexus, there's actually no additional charge. So you can actually just upload items like the letter of explanation, the gift letters, tax returns, things like that. They can all be signed with DocuSign inside of SimpleNexus. Disclosures and or the CD, you can actually request those in Encompass, but just choose to send them through SimpleNexus as your method of delivery, and that's how the borrowers will get it. The other great thing is the hybrid closing that's available through SimpleNexus. Your borrowers can sign the majority of their documents through SimpleNexus. Again, it just keeps them in that same area the whole time. And there's a separate video on that, so be sure to check out the separate video that we have, as well as the job aid for the hybrid closing. And that's it. We're going to go ahead and dive in now to the rest of the trainings.